let's go over to the online syllabus, and I will walk you through that. Again, my name is Nadine Wade-Gravett, and I have included my email address for you. I would like you to not send me emails through the college email, or don't send me assignments through the college email, because I would really require that you use the Blackboard email. But in case something is working or not working with your computer, and you can always contact me there. And my phone number is listed, and my fax number. I do have office hours if you physically want to come in and see me. You can also, at any time, use the mail icon, which is right there, and you can send me a message at any point, and I will get right back to you on that. I check my class daily, so you will have an opportunity to get feedback from me right away. So if we go back to the course content section and we go down to the syllabus, I'd list again what the goals are, and that is to learn on your job, to improve your job performance, and to accept some new responsibilities at your job site. Okay? Now, I have deadlines for Work Experience 191 and 193, and I have those listed for you. And these forms that you see here, the student agreement application, the objectives, the resume cover letter, the one-page paper, and the employer evaluation and time card, all have very specific due dates, and those you will find in the work experience documents section. So all those forms will be available to you. It's your responsibility to get those to me. Again, physically either dropping them off to my office or faxing them to our fax number. So those are the requirements for Work Experience 191 and 193. Again, you are going to set up with your employer objectives that you are going to learn on the job. So these are things that are new to you, that you want to improve on, and they must be signed off by your supervisor. So these are things that are going to be learned new on the job. So meet with your supervisor and have that form signed off. That is a very essential form, and we cannot progress unless you have that. And as you see, I give you a couple of weeks to work through with your supervisor. Those aren't due until about September 17th, okay? Or depending on the dates, if this class is going to be offered in the fall as well. So those 5 items are the only items that are required for the Work Experience 191 and 193. And I will be doing a telephone interview or an on-site interview of your place of employment. And I will be talking to your boss and finding out how things are going. It's required that I do a site visit, either through telephone or through an actual on-site visit. So again, for 191 and 193, it's what you're doing at your job, okay? And at the end of the semester, you'll submit to me an employer evaluation and a time card, both again signed by your supervisor. And those are the only requirements that we have for those 2 classes, 193 and 191. Now, when we talk about Work Experience 190, that is the seminar class, and that is required of all students, again, enrolled in either 191 or 193. You must be enrolled in 190. For Work Experience 190, which is the seminar class, you have a series of 17 readings that you are required to do, and I have posted these readings as attachments. So where you find those is if you go over to the assignments section and you click on the assignments section, you will find reading number 1. And you will find all 17. Yours will look a little different than this. But as you can see with reading number 1, it says, you've been presented with 20 ideas for managing your stress. In your response to me, indicate 2 of the techniques that work for you and 2 that you would be willing to try. So what I would like you to do is then open up the attachment. And this one you see is 20 tips for managing stress. Open it up. And you read it, and here are the 20 different possible things that you can do. And you're going to find 2 that really work for you, and 2 that you are willing to experiment with. And once you've read them, then you make that decision, you come back here, and you will have a chance to give me a response. And in that response, what I would like you to do is to just tell me what the 2 things are that you've decided that are that you would be willing to try, and 2 that you would be willing to, that you do use and have good success with. So each of the readings, there's 17 different ones, and they're all work-related, and maybe in a little bit of a circuitous way that they're work-related. For example, stress and time management and those kinds of things, all factors that I think contribute significantly to you being a better employee. In addition, I give you helpful hints about how to interview, how to dress for an interview, what kinds of body postures that you should have when you interview, what kind of tone should your voice be when you interview. And I also give you the kinds of things that will come up as far as interview questions. And so I give you worksheets. You are also required to develop a resume and a cover letter. If you remember, for Work Experience 191 and 193, you have to develop a work experience resume. And in this, in the series of readings, in the 17 readings, I also give you an opportunity to read about how to set up and what constitutes a good resume. So you have 17 readings, and if we go back to the dates on your syllabus, I give you every single date of the different reading requirements. So for example, 20 Tips for Managing Stress is due on August 21st. And you have a week to do each reading, and those you submit to me using the Blackboard Online. So I do not have to get a hard copy or a paper copy of any of those. They're all submitted online. And again, I'm not looking for much more than a paragraph or 2 paragraphs about in your response. So completing all 17 of those readings is all that is required for Work Experience 190. So hopefully that has clarified, this has clarified for you the requirements of the 2 different classes. Just in summary, let me explain again that Work Experience 190 is an online seminar class, and it has 17 different readings that you are required to give short essay responses to. And those are weekly assignments, and I encourage you not to get too far behind on those. For each one of those that you submit, and again, there are no right or wrong answers. There is, how you are measured is on completeness of assignment. So if you give me a 1-line response, that's of course not going to warrant the full 10 points. But again, there are no right or wrong answers, so just completing it will give you full points. So you are graded on how well you complete those 17 readings. And that is, again, for Work Experience 190. For Work Experience 191 and 193, you have 5 different assignments that are due, and those must be turned in to me in person or through the fax machine that is located in our building. And those 5 different assignments include an application and a map and location of where your employment is. And the most important, I think, is the establishment of the objectives that you and your employer work out, the things that you are actually going to learn at the workplace. And again, those are signed by your boss or your supervisor. And you also must submit a resume and a cover letter. You must submit a 1-page paper, and if you go to the work booklet, you will find the topics that are listed, and there's 5 different topics that you can choose from, and that's just a 1-page paper. And again, just to get you thinking about work and the workplace. And then your final evaluation done by your employer, the final requirement of that class is that you must submit an evaluation, a point system evaluation that your employer provides, and you must submit a signed time card. And again, the time card must match the hours that you signed up for your units. So, and you'll be evaluated on those items. If you are running into problems, or you think that you're not going to be able to meet your hours, please contact me as soon as possible, and I can work with you and help you set up, and that perhaps you have to set up an incomplete. But the most important part is that you contact me and work with me as soon as possible. I hope this has clarified this class for you, and I encourage you to come by and see me, or I encourage you to give me a call if you have any questions. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you online. Da 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 da.